Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today, you guessed it, I'm working on my 100-day project, gel print landscapes. If you haven't seen any of the previous ones, there is a playlist. I'll link it in the description box below, just in case you're interested. I'm also posting them on Instagram, so if you want to just see the prints, that's where they would be. Today, I am using Golden So Flat paint. I found a set on clearance and it has Naphthol red light, ultramarine blue, permanent green, black, and titanium white. And I didn't know they'd be so runny. I guess that makes sense because they're flat paints. You want a flat, you don't want any ridges from paint that might leave a little brush stroke marks or whatever. But I end up very, very messy because I'm trying to mix them. I don't want to just use them straight out of the bottle. And I am mixing every color with the permanent green, just a touch of it, I decided that was going to be the mother color, just to bring everything together. And I am using the baby wipe technique to create my mountains this time. Oh, I did, for the background, I did the ultramarine blue and some white, and I left, and I added white, and the background's kind of splotchy looking. I was going for a cloud effect. At least that was my initial hope. It's more just streaky, I think, but and I did put some green in there and it didn't get mixed very well, so there's a little bit of green in the sky. We're going with it. But I didn't show the mixing of these, so I don't have 100% sure of the color combinations I used to make these sort of taupey brown colors. But yeah, so I'm making the mountains. And I don't think this layer was enough different from the last layer. Or maybe it was. I'm trying to remember now. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Today's a good day here. It's nice and sunny. It was 68 degrees yesterday. Couldn't believe it. I'm doing a temperature blanket and I'm finally into a new color. Got up warm enough that I could add yellow to my temperature blanket. Anyway, I have this extra piece of paper that I just take the excess paint off with, and it'll eventually end up as a landscape. I think you'll see that one in this video. I think I have 4 prints that I'm doing on this one today. So the first one was day 30 of the 100-day projects. That's this one. So now I'm making kind of a dark green, going for the grassy landscape kind of in the foreground. It's still got a bit of the blue in there, and actually a touch of white to get this color. And it's quite wet, so it's really warping my paper. I'm using Hammermill paper, but it's not very heavy. It's more copy weight. It's a little bit stronger than just your basic copy weight, but it's still not like super strong. But I have it. I bought it because I really hated the copy paper I was getting from Walmart. And I love this stuff. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's great for printing. It's great for printing photos on your printer, like if you're not needing photo paper. And I'd use it for my journal. I print pictures out on it and put it in my journal. All right, so you can see how runny that paint is. It's just super runny. It was really, really hard to work with and mix. And like I said, I got really messy. So I'm putting some brighter green in the foreground. And then adding, I don't know, bushes, twigs. I'm using my Q-tip bundle. It's losing its dots because I've used it so much. It's like becoming flatter, I think. I think I got a little excessive on the extra dotty business. So that's going to go on the bottom, just in the foreground of my landscape. And there we go. So that was day 30. Oh yes, we got to clean up our spot. And I'm really rubbing it. I want to get it all off. I don't want to have to go back and clean my plate. I want it to come up. That did a little bit. I've got a very interesting landscape with like white blotches there. Alright, but there is our day 30. Day 30. And if you look at that sky, you can see a tinge of green right there near the center. Alright, so for this next one, I decided I would try the So Flat paints straight out of the bottle. You know, I'm feeling the print and it is really smooth. Like, there's a few rough spots, but like, I think if I painted with it, like directly onto like a treated board or some mixed media paper, it would be really smooth. It would paint on really smooth. So yes, I put white fluffy clouds on this one. And like I said, paint straight out of the bottles. So they're very strong colors. That one, I think I had a little bit of white on my brush, so it gets a little white in there. But and then, you know, I don't have a brown, so we're going to put black on our mountains in sort of the shadowy areas. At least that's the hope. And then clean off my brush, and we're going to grab some green and make the rest of the hill. We'll call it a hill since it's like rounded and green. Just doing it with green and trying not to double dip and get black in my green paint. I think there's way too much black going on there, but we'll see when we pull it, right? So I'm using the white just to create some sort of highlight there at the base of the hill. And then maybe we'll add some yellow and red. I actually kind of like how the bottom half, like it has some real brushy sort of effects on the finished print. I kind of like how that looks better than the mountain. I think if I had more colors and did more brush strokes in the mountain area, I might have liked it a little bit better. But either way, it's like too garish for me. Or is it Fauvism? Is that the one? They have the wild colors. There's the yellow. But this part here where I just kind of stroke in the colors, clean off the yellow on my brush, and then add the green. I do like the painterly effect of the pulled print. The big smeary stuff you see over the red, you won't see that in the print. You'll see what's the first thing down on the gel plate. So once it's dry, and I did have to leave it to dry, we're going to put a pull color. And I'm using my Hippie Crafter paints. I'm going to do some blue, I believe. And then I didn't want the ground to get dark. I wasn't sure if it would. So I'll put yellow down there to pull. So I'll do blue on top and yellow on the bottom. And this one, because I am wanting to pick up all those base layers, this will sit. So I put a book on it and I let it sit for several hours. I don't remember exactly how long I let it sit, but it was several hours. I fill it to make sure it doesn't feel cool or damp. And here it is. So I decided there wasn't enough green on the mountains. They looked a little strange. So I'm pulling out the green paint and I'm just going to go over, and yeah, it's fairly opaque, so it just kind of really covers. I'm just gonna take that valley all the way up to the top of the hill. Oh, and I add some white into the clouds. We'll just make them extra fluffy, extra bright white. To go with the bright colors on this particular print. Again, that was So Flat Paint by Golden. Found it on clearance at Michael's. I'd always wanted to try it. Now I've tried it. Not sure it works for my purposes, but I'm sure I will use the paint. It'll get used up. Maybe not on the gel plate. All right, so there it is. What do you think of that one? Okay, so this is the one that I've been picking up layers. I want to use it, so I'm going to do a glaze over everything. But before I do that, I was thinking my mountains needed some dimension. Oh, and I decided we should make these weird spots on the top maybe look like clouds. So I'm just using the same paint and going in with my finger so that maybe they'll look cloud-like when I glaze it. And I am counting this one as a landscape. Gel print landscape. Because, I mean, basically it is, right? Okay, so I'm pulling out, I believe this is Quinacridone Nickel Laser Gold. Because I know that it will, I think that's the color I used on this one. I also have red iron oxide, but I think this is the gold one. just know it's really transparent, so everything should be able to see everything through this. And I didn't clean up the paint that was left on the corners of the plate. So this one does pick up a little bit in one of the corners. There's like this blue streak on it. And there's day 32. What do you think?
Much better. Much better.
I think it works.
Got a weird blueness up here, but that's okay.
That's the little blue bit that pulled up. And we're going to do one more for today. Day 33. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching 22 Club. Isn't that what I called it? The 22 Club. If you've made it 22 minutes. I think this video is actually like 23, 24 minutes long. So if you make it that far, you're in the club. Did I write the paints down on this one? I did not write the paints down on this one. I can't remember which paints I used. I actually really like that grungy, so it had the nickel hazel gold residue on there. Oh, I used craft paint, that's why. And then I used folk art craft paint in sea green, I think, and that's what I made the sky with. So it's got a little bit of yellow because of the nickel hazel gold color, and then I just used that exact same color to do this first hill. My brayer is getting a little bit textural. The last paint I used on it was craft paint, and this craft paint's really kind of chalky, so I don't think it's a good time to peel the skin yet off of there. So this one, yeah, old craft paint. I think I threw that bottle away, so I couldn't tell you what color that was. I think it had teal in the name. Mixed it again with that same one that I just told you. Was it C? I have to pull it out again. Sea green. It was sort of a tealy color. I think it might have been my Laguna blue because I like that one. I use it a lot. And again, a baby white mountain. I'm calling them baby white mountains. What do you think of that? I'm kind of liking the coloring on this one. It's subtle. But I think I do decide it was too boring with just rose. So I get a little bit more daring on this one, should I say. Well, not very daring, but, you know. Excuse me. So we're going to put some dirt in the foreground. This is another craft paint. It's also folk art. It's called, I think it's called Honey. Is it folk art? Oh, it's deco art, and it's called Honey Brown. And I had a little bit of blue on my brayer. I think that's what happened there. So get a little blue down there in the foreground. And I got to clean up my smudgies. Some serious smudgies going on. I was trying to get that straight, sort of straight. I end up with a dip. It's really hard to wipe in a straight line. Maybe if I stood up over it, I could do it. But then I'd be in the way of the camera. So there is the landscape, and just cleaning up. So I've got another clean up piece of paper on the go. I don't know, it's not picking up much. It's not getting very interesting yet, so we'll see if it turns into something. That was me going boom, 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 boom. Pretty even Steven and not interesting enough. And yeah, I had some quinacridone hanging over the edge of the plate there, and it got on the side of this print. So I'm just taking some of the leftover paint and making some trees. And I decided to add a little bit more, add some green to it, make it a little bit more vibrant. I don't want it to completely blend into the hills in the background. And then, yeah, I'm using that honey brown and gonna make some tree trunks. Now, hopefully they will show up. It's kind of streaking some of the green down, so I think it will show up just fine. At least that's what I'm thinking when I'm doing it. I already know the answer. Tricky, I know. I know the answer ahead because I've already done it. All right. There it is. I think it needs a little help. So we're just going to put down that, and we're going to come back and go directly to the print with the Q-tip. With my Q-tip dauber. I think that fell down somewhere because I'm not seeing it anywhere. I don't know where I set it, and I have, like, there's a gap. Like, I have a desk to the side of me, like a little teeny sewing table, an ancient sewing table. And there's a gap on one side, and there's stuff down there, like rolls of paper and different things. And I think he might have fell down there. So that will take a little bit of effort to get to. Because my art table is kind of blocking that gap. So I'll have to hunt for him. Or maybe I need to make a new one. All right, so that is the last one for today. That's day 33. Do you like it? Did you like these ones? Was that Fauvist one kind of crazy? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you, 22 Club, for sticking with me, and I hope you have an awesome day.